It's pizza night. Oh, and I'm going to show y'all how I make my easy peasy pizza dough. Once you learn this recipe, you'll be making your own pizza at home every weekend. No need for takeout. You're going to love it. This recipe is so easy. Once you do it once, you'll know it by heart and you'll say, oh my gosh, where has this been all my life? I'm going to show you a recipe that makes enough dough to make 3 pizzas about, what's this, 14, 16 inches. That would be like a large pizza. Or you can make it in a pan. You can make it any way you want. You can make like 6, 7 little pizzas. You can do whatever you want with this dough. It is so easy. The best part about it is you can put it in the freezer. You only want to make 1 pizza? Make this whole recipe anyway. I am telling you, put the other 2 pizza dough balls in the freezer and then you'll have it. You'll have it ready right when you need it. All right, let's get started. The first thing we have to do is we have to bloom our yeast. All right, and this is how we're going to do it. I have some organic honey here. If you don't have honey, you can use just regular granulated sugar, and you need about 2 teaspoons. I do this in this bowl. Like I said, this is going to make 3 pizzas. So I need 2 teaspoons of honey. I'm just going to eyeball it. That's about 1, and that's about 2. That's all we need. Now, we need to add 1/2 cup of warm water to dissolve this honey. There we go. It's 1/2 cup, and we'll just stir this honey around. And now we're going to add our yeast. And if you've worked with yeast before, you know that yeast eats sugar, and that's what the honey is for. Or the sugar, whatever you have used in your thing. Now I have my yeast, I buy it in bulk, all right, because I do a lot of, well, I did do a lot of pizza making, but if you just have the packets of yeast, you can use 2 packets of active dry yeast. That each packet of yeast is 2 1/4 teaspoons. So for 2 packets of yeast, I'm going to use 4 1/2 teaspoons. That's 4. And I got a half. Boomph. And I store my yeast in the refrigerator when I have it in bulk. Okay. If it's in the packet, you don't have to store it in the refrigerator. I'm going to stir this around. And we're going to set it to the side. And we're going to give it a few minutes, like 5 or so, to show us that it's alive and ready to make dough. All right, off to the side you go. Now, I'm going to drag my mixer in, and we're going to be doing this in the KitchenAid mixer. This is definitely the easiest way to do it. Let me plug this bad boy in. Here we go. Where's my bowl? Here it is. All right, there we go. Now, to this bowl, we are going to add 4 cups of all-purpose flour. If you wanted to make a different kind of crust, perhaps like a little bit whole wheat, you could substitute some of the AP flour for whole wheat, or some of the, yeah, absolutely. I've done that before. Like I'll do 3 cups of AP flour and 1 cup of whole wheat, and that will just give you a little bit more fiber, a little bit better for you, so they say. But here's just 4 cups of flour, and you know me, whoop, making a mess. That's me for sure. But you just put it into the bowl of your mixer. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Boom, just like that. And what I like to do right at this point with my dry ingredients, and these are all the dry ingredients that you need, is just put my little dough hook on. And I'm doing this kind of backwards, so if I seem awkward, that's why. And just give it a little mix. Just to get that salt dispersed throughout the flour. Now we need to add some oil. I like to use olive oil. You can use whatever oil you like. We need 3 tablespoons. We're just going to add that in. 1, 2, 3, just like that. And then we add 1 cup of warm water. Now we have a half a cup of water in with our yeast, and as you can see, that's starting to get frothy. That means it's working. So now we add 1 cup of warm water to this mix. Oh, there we go. And when I say warm water, it's not hot water, it's not boiling water, it's just water that is warm to the touch. If you wanted to put a thermometer on it, you would want it to be between like 105, 110, around there. You do not want it to be more than 115 degrees or Fahrenheit, or it will kill your yeast. That's just the way it is. Yeast can't live beyond that temperature. But anyway, warm water, just from your tap, it's totally fine. All right, now I'm going to mix that up just a tiny bit. Put it on low. All right, now I'm going to add my bubbling yeast and honey and water mixture. Get as much of that in as I can. Scrapey, scrapey, scrapey. Come on, get on. We need you all working. All right. And like I said, I'm showing you the easy side, so I can't tell. What is the first one? I'm going to just put this on low. I want to mix it up for a minute, and I'm going to take you in closer to see what it looks like. Our goal here is to get everything incorporated. We might have to scrape down, we might not, it depends. We might have to add a little bit more water, we might not, it just depends. But we just want to make a nice dough that is fully involved with the dough hook. That's actually looking really good. That is coming together perfectly. Okay, I'm going to turn it off for just a minute. Now, let me just pull this up for a second. You see how that is? That is nice. It's tacky. It's holding together. It's coming away from the sides of the bowl. What we're going to do now is we're going to put this back down, and we're going to let the dough hook knead this dough for 8 minutes. Ready? Go! All right, that's 8 minutes. That's just how easy it is. Look at this supple, silky dough. Now, if you didn't have a mixer with a dough attachment and you were doing this by hand, you would mix the dough by hand, you would turn it out onto a floured board or your floured counter, and you would knead it for about 8 to 10 minutes. And you'd get a nice good workout, but it would work out just the same. All right, so let's get this bowl off and show you what is going to happen next. Push you off to the side. Thank you, friend. And I am going to just, I think I need to put just a little bit of flour on my counter and whoop, dry it off a little bit. Turn the dough out. Typically, this step would not be necessary. It depends on the humidity of the day, how much moisture is in your atmosphere. This is looking kind of sticky. I should get my scraper. Let me do that. Hang on. Hang on, everybody. I love my silicone scraper thingy. It cleans up everything so easy. Look at my hands. Oh, Karina's saying, what is she doing? All right, off you go. All right. There we go. Now, like I said before, this is going to make 3 pizzas or one ginormous one. It's up to you how big your oven is and what you can handle. All right, there you go. Now let's just turn that around a little bit. See this? Oh, look how nice and soft that looks. That's beautiful. All right, what we need to do now, that's all you got to do. I just needed to get that little bit of extra going on there. Put that there. You need to take either a tablespoon of oil and smear it around in a bowl, a clean bowl. I'm not even going to do a clean bowl. I'm just going to squirt some avocado oil in my mixer bowl. I'm going to put this in, turn it over so it's oiled on both sides. Boom, boom. I'm going to cover it with a towel and I'm going to let it sit and rest for 90 minutes and then it'll be ready to make the pizza. It's pizza night and we're going to show you how we make our homemade pizza. How many times have we done homemade pizza?
I would say dozens.
Okay.
If not hundreds.
If not hundreds. This is how we make our basic pizza. Will's going to show you how he makes his sauce. We're going to be using sweet Italian sausage today. He's going to brown that up for our pizza. And we have a buku of vegetables that we're going to be putting on top, including our homegrown tomatoes. I've already showed you how we make the pizza dough. And while it's resting and rising for its 90 minutes, now's the time to make the sauce. Now, I'm here to tell you, like Will said, we've made these pizzas dozens, if not hundreds of times over the course of years. And I don't think it's ever been the same way twice.
No.
Absolutely not. So you just go, Mr. Will. Tell us how you do it.
Well, first thing I want to do is get a little thyme.
All right, and thyme now is that garlic and oil emulsion that we showed in a previous video. I will link that video at the end. Now, we're using sweet Italian sausage. It is my favorite sausage, which is why I bought it, why you're using it. If you're not wanting to do sausage, you don't have to put any kind of meat on this pizza, or you could just buy processed, pepperoni in a package and put that on top, just like regular toppings. Just think of how I want to make pizza in my kitchen, and then just take everything we're doing as just suggestions, right?
Yes. And what you'll find out is, like, you'll have favorites. You'll cook something and it'll turn out really great. And you'll say, well, I need to do that again. Yes, you do. And the thing is like, people talk about the time it takes to cook. And I realize that at different points in your life, you have only so much time and everything. But to be honest with you, at the end of your life, you're going to just remember the times you enjoyed, hopefully.
Now you're getting philosophical.
Yeah, and like what I'm trying to do right now, I'm not trying to thoroughly cook the sausage. I'm just trying to develop enough heat in the sausage that it gives up its water and oil right here in this pan, and it doesn't sit on top of my pizza.
Okay. All right, then I think, it's going to take a while to develop, so we'll come back when it's a little bit further along.
After the sausages have browned, remove them from the pan and using your tongs, scrape up the browned bits from the bottom. Add your tomato paste. We're using 2 cans today, and the goal is to toast it and develop the flavor of the tomato paste. This will take just a couple of minutes. These are tomatoes we processed this morning. If you're using canned tomatoes, it'll be about a 15-ounce can. Add them in and give everything a good stir. Let that cook for just about a minute. Now you can add Italian seasoning or just dried basil or oregano. We like a little bit of onion powder and a little bit of granulated garlic. You can season it to your taste. You can add salt and pepper here as well. Give everything a good stir, let it cook for another minute, and now we're going to add, this is the tomato juice from the tomatoes we processed, but you can add water, you can add wine, you can add chicken stock. Probably all in all, we added about 2 cups of liquid. Now Will is adding some of the toppings that we're going to add later. He's got mushrooms, a little bit of green onion, a little garlic, a little spicy red pepper, and green banana peppers. Stir them around and then just let the sauce simmer for about 15 minutes.
Okay, 90 minutes has gone by and our pizza dough has risen. Look at this. Oh, looks beautiful. All right, now what we have to do is divide this into 3 balls of pizza dough. So the first thing I'm going to do, I have my kitchen scale out, all right, and I'm going to weigh this dough. I'm going to bring you down so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to use my kitchen scale and I'm going to zero it down. And based on my experience making pizza crusts forever at the brewery, I am going to say this is about 33 ounces. Yeah. So let's just put it all out there and see. 2 pounds, 3/8, no, 2 pounds and a quarter ounces. That'd be 16, and 16 is 32 and a quarter. Close enough. Okay, so I want to divide this bit of dough into 3 pieces. Each of them are going to be about 11 ounces. Now, I just need something to sit on my thing so it doesn't get all greasy because there still is oil. I'm going to zero. And I'm just going to eyeball what I think is about 11. And 9 1/8. Oh, 11 1/8. Okay, that's good. I'm going to put that one off to the side. Now let's try the next guy. Back to 0. Back to 0, yes. Ooh, 10 3/4. I'm getting closer. I'm going to have to add some flour to this when we roll it out. 10 and what? 10 7/8. That's close enough to 11. I'm going to put that there and see what this last guy brings us. 0. 10 1/4. All right. So I'm going to have to take a little bit from this guy. Take a little bit from this guy. All right. Yeah, and that's 11. Now we're just about even. All right. At this point, okay, you can either make 3 pizzas or you can take this pizza dough and put it in a Ziploc bag that you give a little squirt of spray and put it in your freezer. Try to get as much air out as possible. If you're going to use it like maybe tomorrow, put it in the fridge, but it will stay in the freezer for a long time. Just make sure that you mark it and label it. And now we have 3 pizza doughs ready to go. I'm just going to take this dough. I'm going to put it out here for just a minute. Give it just a little bit of flour. And then it's going to be ready to roll, as they say. Ready to roll. Now, we are blessed with having a pizza peel. This thing is as old as the hills. This was a gift to me way back in the day. Let me think. 1978, maybe? Yeah, and that's how old it is. So we've been using it ever since. We also have a pizza stone that we bake our pizzas on. We got that at like a kitchen place. I don't remember exactly where, but if you don't have either a pizza peel or a pizza stone, you can bake your pizza on a sheet pan. Very easy. When you're working with dough, it's best to like work it, let it relax, work it a little bit more, let it relax.
And if you watch any YouTube videos, they'll tell you to put a little olive oil on it. We made tume earlier this weekend, and like I'm just going to take some tume and spread it around because I like the taste of garlic, and there's a little salt and lemon in it, and that's what you're doing is you're putting a barrier between you and the sauce.
Like a primer almost, right?
Yes.
Really?
This smells heavenly.
It does.
To be honest with you, we could just put this tume on it
And then bake it.
and we would be
We'd
very
be
happy.
done. Yeah. You know what? Here's a fun thing. All right. We've done this before when we've had the whole family gather around. We make all this dough and we give everybody their like half of this. You know what I mean? Everyone gets
And they can
like
do
a
it however they
5 or
want
6
to.
ounce piece of dough and they make their own pizzas. It's so fun. Here we have some diced up onion. This is just a yellow onion. Some thinly sliced mushrooms. These are banana peppers. They're mild peppers from our garden. This is a jalapeno from our garden. This is that hot cherry pepper, hotter than blazes from our garden. We're going to add some of that. And then we also have some sliced tomatoes from our garden. Now, we're only going to show you one, but we're going to be making 3 pizzas because we're hungry, and we're going to put some in the fridge and eat them over the course of time. Plus, we have that sausage that we browned up, that Mr. Will browned up. So, this is the fun part. I'm going to just take like a tiny little sprinkle of this to help hold everything down. Ooh, just like that. Nothing much, but here you go. Are we ready? We're going to put it in a 425-degree oven for about, what did you say, 15? Preheated 425-degree oven for 15.
we're going to look at it, and when everything gets brown and crisp the way we want it to
Then
be,
we'll know it's ready.
it's going to be about 15 minutes.
All right.
You got to break it free, and it will get attached to the pill.
Oh, this is always a heart-wrenching moment. Oh, it looks so soft. Is it going to work? Yes!
And again, we lost our audio, but look at how this turned out. I think it was in the oven for about 25 minutes total. And you can see that the crust is browned around the edges, and the toppings, the sausage is kind of sizzling. The cheese is all melted and delicious. We're going to slice it up into a few beautiful pieces, and then we're going to get ready to take a taste. Now here you just have to imagine that we're tasting and saying, oh, that's delicious. Oh yeah, perfect. I love it. Thanks for joining us, friends. We'll see you next time on Cooking It Real. Bye-bye.